Wake them up. Full ground experimental 284 Delta Golf. T hangars ready to taxi departing VFR westbound.
R284 Delta Golf on ground runway 4 taxi via taxiway Bravo Alpha, wind calm, altimeter 3042.
Taxi Bravo Alpha to runway 4 Delta Golf. Change the number. We'll take the long way since we have another 30 degrees to go.
Okay.
Not that you care. Just keeping you in the loop. Don't you want to be in the loop?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be in the loop.
Yes, it's nice to understand.
The loop is the place to be. Okay, now I got to go over to tower frequency, even though it's the same guy. That's just a different frequency, same guy. Kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes him feel, I don't know, important. He's doing 2 jobs, get paid overtime or something, I don't know. So I'm just going to tell him we're ready for takeoff. He'll clear us for takeoff. The way takeoff's going to work, since there's no wind, it should be pretty much straight down the runway. But almost right away, I'm going to have the stick back like this to get the nose up, because I don't like to get the nose wheel going too fast. Then it'll just kind of fly off. We'll be maybe 1,000 feet down a 5,000-foot runway, so it's not going to take long at all. And then we'll go out past the house and make a right turn over the house. It'll be right out there, and then we'll head out west a little bit. Okay?
Very cool.
All right. Bolton Tower, experimental 284 Delta Golf, ready for takeoff. Runway 22 at Alpha 1, departing VFR westbound.
November 284 Delta Golf on tower, turn right on course, runway 22, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 22 right on course for Delta Golf. You just read back everything he says to make sure I understood it or he said it correctly. It's just kind of a double check in case I screw it up. Or he does. They make mistakes every now and then. Not as often as I do, but is that inspiring confidence?
Yeah.
There we go. So that nose is coming up right there. Now I kind of let off the stick and let it stay like this, and it'll fly off when it's ready, which is going to be right about now. So we got a lot of runway left out there.
Yeah.
Pretty day. The trees are never as bright as you would want them to be, and they never seem to all change color at the same time. So people think in the fall you can come up here and it's just a sea of orange and red, and it really isn't. It's all kind of speckled like that.
Yeah.
And it's getting a little late. A lot of them have already lost. They've already lost their leaves. It's still a beautiful time to fly. The air is smooth and clear. There you can see that. I told you they have a rodeo at that place. See the little ring with the bleachers?
Yeah.
And then here we're coming across, this is Johnson Road, so my house will be right off to the right. You should be able to see your car in the driveway. Just look for the fence, the white fence. See it? Right down there.
Oh yeah, now I do. Oh, cool.
Oh, the golf courses look nice. There's a good bright red one over there, so you can get some pretty nice trees. How's downtown looking? Is it out of the haze? It'll be back over your right shoulder. Yeah, it's all right. We can fly up and come. I have to go high enough to get over the airspace around Columbus, but we can go across downtown and across they'll be setting up for the football game at the shoe. We can go past that. Just got to get high enough. Got to get to like 5,500 feet. You can fly it if you want.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, you do. Just real gently, one hand, real gentle, and just kind of hold it there. Now look outside. Now move it a little bit to the right. Just really, there you go, just a little bit. Now hold it back to the middle, and it'll just stay in that turn. This is how you turn. And you can see all right, right? You can see out front and everything? Just so you can see the horizon. You can tell if we're level or not. If not, you can look over here. So turn to the left a little bit and watch what that does. See how that's turning?
Yeah.
And that does too. So that's how you fly in the clouds when you can't see, is you just follow that stuff. And since, with the nose up like this plane tends to climb with the nose really high, so it blocks a lot of your view. We don't need to climb that fast. I can push that down a little bit, see? So now you can see a little bit better.
Tower, Piper, November 43774.
So we can go a little bit more to the right, and we'll head up north.
43774, Bone Tower. Good morning, we're 10 to
Not like
the
that.
north,
That's good.
landing a full.
Perfect, just hold that.
43774, port 2 mile, correction port midfield left downwind, runway 4.
So here's some more stuff.
3042.
This tells you we're climbing. If it was at 0, we'd be level. We're climbing at 600 feet per minute. This tells you that we're at almost 3,000 feet. We got to get up to about 5,500 to go over downtown. So just keep that doing that. This is our direction. We're heading 290 degrees, which is 20 degrees north of west.
Okay.
So like 360 would be north, 180 would be south. That's what the runways are numbered as. Runway 22, which we took off on, means 220 degrees, means it points to the southwest. On the opposite end is runway 4, which points 40 degrees, which is northeast. So it's the same piece of concrete, it's just two different runways, and you use that to land and take off into the wind.
Okay.
Because it gives you more airspeed across the wing, so the tires don't have to go as fast, you're not using up as much ground. This airplane, it obviously didn't make any difference. We had 4,000 feet we never touched. But in something like a Learjet or an airliner, they have just as much runway as they need, so they try to go into the wind, makes you land with lower ground speed, take off with lower ground speed. So this is 98 knots through the air, which is about 108, 109 miles an hour. And it's a little slow because we're climbing. When we level off, that'll get up to about 113 or so. Let's go back to the right. There's some traffic right there, just about our altitude, but he's 6 miles away. We won't even be able to see him. Pretty easy, this part, right?
Yeah.
just steer it around.
This is amazing.
Well, you can see forever when it's like this too. There's some haze. You don't get a real clear horizon. You get a real clear horizon maybe 5 or 6 days a year where there's just no haze at all. There's always some, but those are typically winter days where it's just so cold there's no moisture in the air at all. Today's not quite cold enough for that. But this is pretty good visibility. You can see pretty far. And then when it's like this, you'll probably see out there it looks like clouds. That's sitting over water. When it's cold like this, you'll get fog over the water. So you can always see the rivers and such, little lakes or whatever. That's probably pointed right into the sun.
Tower, this 43774. We're just going over to the base of the tower to pick up a passenger. Roger.
Where the hell's that campus? I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Heading right at it. Lost in the haze.
Or 774, turn left to Alpha 3, taxi straight ahead Alpha 3 to the ramp, monoground 121.8. 774, Alpha 3 to the ramp, 21.8. Thanks.
There's downtown, kind of hiding in the fog.
It looks so small.
Yeah, we're a mile up. The big open spot is Port Columbus Airport. Oh, there's the railroad yards. Almost forget to get that. So we'll head back. See way over there, that airport?
I think so.
It's got the little white radar tower and then the runway and then some blue hangars. That's where we're going back to. That's where we came from. We just made a big loop around. We came up this high just to get over the, there's jets flying in and out of Port Columbus, so they get you up high out of their way.
Okay.
Tower, Terminal 24 Delta Golf, 7 miles south-southeast inbound landing.
4 Delta Golf, say again?
We're 7 miles south-southeast inbound landing. We're set up for a right base to runway 4.
4 Delta Golf, 42 mile right base to runway 4. Wind is 2703, altimeter is 3043.
Report 2 mile right base, runway 4, 4 Delta Golf. If I remember. He'll yell at me if I don't. So it's right out there, and base leg is 45 degrees off from the orientation of the runway. So if you're flying a full pattern, you go down alongside the runway, and that's called downwind because if you're on the runway, you're obviously going into the wind. then you make base, and it can either be right base or left base, depending
235 Lima Bone ground.
depending on which way the runway is going to be.
Taxiway Bravo Alpha.
So normally we wouldn't be this far out when he
3043.
clears for a base, but there's not very many people here. He's not very busy. So when he says report a 2-mile right base, what he's saying is remind me when you get here.
Okay.
Because he doesn't really know how fast or slow we are.
Yeah.
So for now, we're not close enough that he cares. He knows in general where we are. So if he wanted to know, he would ask. But the 2-mile right base report is, hey, I'm ready to land now. So he'll look around. There's nothing else. He'll either clear us to land, or if somebody else is in the pattern by then, he'll work us around. You know, we'd go first or we'd follow or whatever. But he's just saying, remind me when you get here.
Should get a cooler voice to come up.
Just like the GPS, that female voice, I've just tuned it out.
I have an Australian dude as my GPS.
I had to change my Siri voice to a male because, I mean, that woman knows everything. It was, no, the temperature is, all right.
Constant nagging.
Yeah. And the GPS I had changed on the car because, you know, I changed it to the guy because he knows shortcuts.
Oh.
And of course I ignore the female voice. I spent 25 years learning to tone that out. So I was just ignoring her. I get the guy, he's like, yeah, I know a shortcut, and then we're lost. I can't use the GPS at all. I'm going to tell him we're 2 miles out, and he'll say, clear to land runway 4. And both Tower 4 Delta Golf, 2-mile right base, runway 4.
Tower 4 Delta Golf, runway 4, clear to land.
Runway 4, clear to land, 4 Delta Golf. He was obviously just hanging on by everybody. He was ready, wasn't he? He was like, where is he? Where is he? Oh, there he is. All right, we got to slow it down a little bit, and I'm going to put the flaps down. Those are those big things out on the wing, so the nose is going to kind of bump, bump like that when I pull this lever, just so you're aware. Here it comes, right? It's going to go bump and bump. So, I've warned you so you won't be shocked. Despite popular belief, I'm not in this for the thrills.
Yeah.
Now you can see the neighborhood there, see?
Yeah.
That's how close it is. Now there's a guy taxiing out. He's going to want to take off, but he's going to sit there and do a run-up just like we did. So he will probably still be in his run-up when we get there. Once I turn final, I'm cleared to land, so I doubt if he would clear him to go out in front of us. Sometimes he'll clear him to clear for takeoff, but expedient, you know. do it now. I think he'll probably wait for us. I'm going to land about halfway down the runway because just like takeoff, I don't need all that runway. If I land right on the end of it, then we slow taxi all the way back a mile, and that guy's sitting there waiting for us. And of course, there's just no point in it. I'll just fly it halfway down, land where I want to land so we don't spend all that time on the runway. That's the prettiest thing in all of aviation. Big runway sitting out in front of you. That is my favorite part of flying.
Landing?
Yeah, there's so much goes into it. It's kind of a ballet. So many, if it's windy in particular, you're correcting for the wind and all this stuff. And you're trying to get your altitude right, your airspeed right. It's the hardest part to learn.
Really cool to actually be seen.
Out front, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about airliners. Can't see where we're going. Requires a lot of trust. That was a bit rough. I don't no excuse for that one, as calm as the air is. That was a bit of a bump. When it's calm like this, you really want to just, grease it up. Now he's going to tell me turn left after 3, monitor ground 0.8. Or left after 3, straight ahead to park, monitor ground 0.8. Or he should.
And Bolton Tower, send down to 2235 Lima, ready for departure runway 4 for a 170 departure.
4 Delta Golf, taxi straight ahead, off 3 to the ramp, monitor ground 0.8.
Straight ahead on ramp, off 3, monitor ground 0.8 for Delta Golf.
35 Lima, Bolton Tower, you can sit on course, runway 4, clear for takeoff.
Got a little choked up there. That's like, I knew exactly what I was going to say and still get